All week long, we have been somewhat talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac in some way, shape, or form, right? From whether or not Robin is coming back, which we kind of knew already, but it seems like it's official, y'all. We've got the cast for the new season of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and apparently filming has begun. Okay. I guess Bravo decided that we might as well go ahead and spill our own tea because the tea on Robin was already being spilled. Okay, it was already being spilled. So we might as well go ahead and dive into it. So it was pretty much confirmed yesterday when we talked that this was the cast. Okay. So this is again why I'm assuming Bravo just went ahead and said, you know what, let's go ahead and release the Kraken. Let's release the girls' info. Go ahead and put a pin in it and get this thing started. So who do we have here? We have, of course, the Grand Dame, first in line. First in line. Okay. Now, I think it'll be big having Karen back in general. And I think obviously Karen was coming back. I mean, like, it, because Karen is out right now, you know what I'm saying? Not out. I mean, she's out, right? Karen is back. So she's in the streets. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean she's out there. If you look at her on the ground, she's out there. She's in these streets and she's looking good. So she's back. And I think that you could possibly see by the impact that she had at the reunion where this season might start off or where it might go. Okay. Next, we have Giselle. This one isn't obvious because the show is really pretty much centered around her. But it was so odd that they didn't give her a package at the end of last season's reunion. So this is going to be an interesting season for Giselle because I feel as though she is going to have to get back to work. Like we're going to need to see some like personal story. And granted she had personal story last season, so I'm just not sure we didn't see more of that. But we did have a lot of people to cover. I mean a lot, okay? And I think because of fan reaction, some of these ladies that we had seen in the previous season are not returning. Okay. And again, that could also be too because, with Karen returning, that budget, baby, that budget. We gotta get back to Grand Dame budget, right? And we had a lot to fill in last season with Karen missing. So I would also say that was probably the reason why we had so many new champagne flute holders, right? All right, so we have Ashley returning. I pretty much knew that this was going to be the case. I never once thought that Ashley was in danger or on the chopping block because say what you want about Ashley, Ashley is heavily involved and invested in the stories. She shows up whether you love her or loathe her, Ashley is there to do the work. And though I don't always like it when she makes it obvious that she is there to do the work, I have to also give props where props is due. Even if she may not be everyone's favorite, she is at least an active participant in whatever is happening. Okay. You can't say Ashley's just sitting back and not doing anything, right? So next you have Dr. Wendy Asefo. Now this is going to be the interesting piece right here because you're going to have Wendy coming back while she is also due to be in court for whatever is going to happen with her case. Now, we don't know again what's going to happen yet because from what I'm understanding, filming has just started. And that to me is a little worrisome because I almost feel like you would want a bit of a buffer in the form of someone new. So don't be shocked if you see someone new being introduced in some way, shape, or form. I'm here for Dr. Wendy coming back because my gosh, she was just on the cover of Glamour Bulgaria. I mean, why not? And she does bring the fashions, especially since she's working with Paris. My baby. All right, so Stacy is Captain Obvious. Stacy brings the humor, she brings the self-deprecating, energy, the laughs, the shade, but it never goes too dark with Stacy. So I'm interested to see what she has to bring this season. And it's going to be interesting now seeing Karen back. I think Karen shifting the dynamics is what the network may be leaning really heavily on with this. And of course, we have Tia, which is not really surprising. I felt like Tia is a safe bet. She also represents the sort of fish out of water in this situation. She had plenty of beef with Stacy, but she is not harsh in terms of what she brings. It's a very subtle energy, and I could always use a British accent. I can't say she's the most dramatic, but that doesn't mean that she can't bring something interesting to the table. Because now we also have Robin returning as a friend. So, we've already talked about Robin coming back as a friend. You guys know how I feel about that. So, that X's out from this official lineup Kiarna, Angel, Jazzy, and Monique. Now, first things first, I have not spoken to Monique, but I have an idea of why she may not be in this mix. Okay? I have an idea of why she may not be in this mix. And it makes total and complete sense to me when you look at the grand scheme of everything that she also had going on in the background. That would be my guess as to why she's not also in this mix. Now, Kiana, in my opinion, if you follow Kiana on her social media, I think that Kay is much better served as an independent businesswoman, but also influencer. I just think if you look at her online, I can see her thriving in that space, sort of almost maybe moving into that whole live TikTok, space of building the businesses and the skincare and stuff like that. I would go to her skincare spot because I just feel like she might be, she might have some stuff that's good for my skin. And then of course, Angel, to me, I kind of felt like Angel wasn't coming back. I felt like the show was very hard on her, and I just don't know if this arena was really truly meant for her in general. I think Jazzy could have been someone we could have kept, but the problem was at the end of last season she was accused by multiple cast members of recording conversations such that she really didn't have the allies that I think that she needed in order to come back. And I felt like with Karen coming back, the show wanted to get back to basics. That's just me. My thoughts. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I want to do a quick shout out to my client, Karen Flowers. Y'all, okay, so when we first started working with Karen, I think she actually started I told her to start her YouTube channel. When we really got into working, her channel grew about 25,000 subscribers. And if you have purchased the Creator Starter Kit, you will know that Karen, one of her earlier videos when she was first getting started, generated her about $7,000 in ad revenue. Now, again, that one video alone grew her about what was it 14,000? It got her up to 25,000 subscribers. And to see her today hitting 100,000 subscribers, this is kind of insane. This is why I tell you guys hop into the live masterclass that we're gonna do on Tuesday, April 14th at 7 p.m. Because y'all, I want to see more of these types of stories right here. I know you can do it. I know you have it in you. The link is in the description of this video. If you have not tapped in and you have not been a part of these last couple of weeks of masterclasses, baby, you are missing out. Let this be your sign to get started. Now, let me say this. Results are not typical. No, they are not. But what you get in is what you put out. And Karen put in the work. So I am super excited for her. Okay. Now, let's get back to the Bravo because we have the taglines for the new season of the Raw Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. Now, I know for some reason in the past couple of years, we have not been getting the taglines until like weeks 2, 3, or 4, which is interesting to me. But I'm not mad at it because again, it keeps the excitement fresh. So let's read them and do a little bit of judging. Okay. So for Angela, and this is not in the same order that they appear, mind you. For Angela, it says, in a field of players, I always run it back. Hmm. Hmm. We're gonna judge our top ones. Um, this one is applicable, I think, because her husband Charles is a former basketball player. So I think that the idea of a field of players is kind of like a good cast of castmates. That I always run it back throws me just a little bit, but I'm not mad at it. Let me know what you think. Portia's reads, I've lived many lives and all of them have been fabulous. I like this one. I like it. I think it's so appropriate for her because if you think about Portia's trajectory on this show, it does seem like she has lived a lot of lives. So I and hers is first in the lineup, mind you. So just so you guys have that understanding, it's first in the actual lineup. Kay is actually last in the lineup, and hers says, I don't need any background singers. It's always my show. Yeah, I'm kind of here for this one. Y'all know much of my excitement about this season really lies in the fact that K Michelle is on the show. Um, I'm not gonna even bother trying to hide that. I don't know what it is about K Michelle. I am just so infatuated with her as a reality TV star and personality that I am willing to watch just about anything that she does. Shamia, I've been loyal to a fault, and now it's time to have my own back. Yes, please. Yes. I need you to have your own back and lose the BFF of it all. Please. My God, today. I just want to see Shamia stand on Shamia's own ground and not be the backup singer that K Michelle was talking about to somebody else. Okay? You is full time now, girl. So you can literally you don't need a BFF on the show. You are Shamia Morton Mwangi. Own it, babes. Own it. Somebody who does kind of, like own it. I think that Drew, while I sometimes feel like Drew is playing the part of a shady housewife, the thing that I do love about Drew is when she's not late to the scenes. And that was last year, so we don't know what's happening this year. I love that Drew takes this role seriously. Now, regardless of whether or not she's playing a role or we're getting the truest sense of her, I think that what I love about Drew is that she's always going to show up fabulous. She is. She says, if you cast me in your drama, I only accept leading roles. And I like this for her. I like it. Um, because of everything that I just said. I am gonna give it 2 snaps and some finger waves. Okay? Pinky Cole, while you're busy beefing, I stay vegan. I'm not mad at it because I think it's applicable to her business. And it'll be interesting to see how her role plays out on the show this season. Um, is it my favorite? No, but it's apropos, right? It's appropriate. Kelly, I'm short seasoned and always a full course meal. This is one of those that's very much on the nose, but also a play on words. And with that in mind, I'm not too mad at it. When you listen to these all in concert, I feel like I don't necessarily um they don't slap like they do when read separately and analyzed individually. So that's why I always think it's important to kind of review these from the lens of, our own critique as individual frames. So I love that Bravo does this bit of see, also I want to say this, okay? This is how you build a cult like following. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that with regards to how Bravo sets up their shows. With the Housewife show, it there are certain norms that happen within the world of Housewives. And one of those things being the taglines, right? So as you're thinking about building out your own brand or your own business, something that you may want to think about is building the world that the brand exists in, and what are the staples in that world. And so now we've come to know the taglines as a staple in the Bravo universe, alongside a striking cast photo, and then you put the two of them in tandem and you've got this same way they do with the release of the reunion photos, and then the cast seating charts, all of these little things that we've come to understand that are Bravo staples. Other shows could also benefit in starting to incorporate some of those things, so that it really builds a world of expectation, such that we are waited with bated breath to find out what these cast photos and what these taglines will actually be for this season. It gives us an opportunity to analyze and to go deeper in the lore of the show itself. And I just think that this is such a masterclass in branding for whatever it is that you are about to put out, especially if you are a creative. And this is how you, over time, you build a world by starting to build these norms in that the people who are attached to this community can really get excited about. I had to go down that rabbit hole because I just think that it was so it just kind of became super apparent to me that this is what we do. And finally, we have Miss Phaedra Parks that says, "In a world of legends, they call me the Godfather." I am gonna say that on this, you are on point with Phaedra. On this, you are on point with, because here's the thing. What I like about it is Phaedra didn't christen herself the Godfather. Angela did. Well, not really Angela, or it was a saying, it was something that Angela said. And I just think that when we think of iconic housewives, we do tend to think of Phaedra Parks and some of her antics as part of the I, I guess we could say iconography of the show and these shows in general, going back even through her appearances on Traders and Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. They loved her and Eva so much they ran them back twice for the Berkshires, and not the Berk was it the Berkshires at Dorinda's house, and for the Morocco trip that we may never actually see the light of day. Okay. So I like this. In a world of legends, they call me the Godfather. I think it's kind of it's big talk. It's big talk. So let's analyze who are our top three. right? I actually probably should have done this video live, but you know, we're on a time crunch. Um, mm, 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 mm. It's for me gonna be Portia. It's for me gonna be K Michelle. Mm, and then it's gonna be Phaedra for me. I don't have an order specifically for the 3 of these, but these are the ones that I feel like resonate with me the most. So let me know which ones you resonate with the most in this situation. I'm interested to see which ones you guys love the best, which ones you are not so loving, and which ones you are actually loathing. Don't be afraid. Put them in the chat. Let us know. This is a safe space for you. Okay. This is a safe space for you, your thoughts, your opinions, your feelings, your innermost feelings. And so, like I said, I'm interested to see. Now, y'all know Bell Collectives will be on tonight. And I say the because the stormy version of Bell Collective, which is Bell Collective Birmingham, which will introduce a whole cadre of new ladies, I will definitely be watching that. Let me move this while the camera does what it wants to do. I will definitely be watching that. I'm gonna watch, of course, the original Bells because those are my girls. So I gotta support them. And we'll figure out a way to talk both Bells either tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. So, I mean, tomorrow afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. I've got to make some decisions about what I'm going to do in terms of traveling tomorrow. I think I've just got to make some decisions. So, regardless, we'll do it live, but I'll set up the live beforehand so you guys have, awareness that the live is coming. Okay. Um, with that being said, listen, once again, shout out to my girl Karen Flowers from Curl House. You guys follow her on YouTube. Like she to me is super it's super exciting because she's one of the first people that trusted me to coach her in this YouTube space, and to see where she is now just is a testament to what is possible for you if you just put in the effort and you just put in the consistency with the right strategy. And so listen, again, as they say, results aren't typical, but this could be you if you put in the work. Okay, put in the work. So, for those of you guys who are interested in our live masterclass, it will be Tuesday, April 14th at 7 to 9 p.m. Shout out to Karen and shout out to everybody out there who is winning and deciding for themselves that they are going to take the next step and get this thing rocking and rolling. With that being said, y'all, I will catch you in the next video.